Let's unbox the Ducky OK-M 98. This keyboard is currently released in the US, so we do have a US version, but it will be coming to the UK with a UK layout. As you can see from the front of the box, it is a 98% size keyboard and it comes in this lovely black and blue design. Flipping it over, we have a little bit of information on the back here. One that's just caught my eye and made me laugh. Do not pour liquids in the keyboard. Don't do it, guys. It won't like it. It's a tri-mode wireless connectivity keyboard, and that's pretty much all the information you get on the box. Let's go ahead and open it up. We have the keyboard itself. I think this would normally come in a nice kind of like felt sleeve or something, but this is a sample, so it's missing here. We also get a cable, so this is USB-A to USB-C. That's how we're gonna connect the keyboard wired if you wanna use it wired, or of course charge it up as well. If you are using it wirelessly, you're gonna have to charge it up every now and again. What have we got in here? Oh my goodness. Okay, there's a bit of Ducky branding on the outside, and I think this is their duck mascot, and it's like a little brush so you can clean your keyboard with it. And it's got this little stand thing that connects on there so you can sit it atop your desk if you want to. Very cute, very silly, very Ducky. And then we also have this tool. So this is a hot-swappable keyboard. You can take off the keycaps and switch out the switches if you want to. No soldering required. It's become kind of the norm on keyboards these days, but obviously nice to see that the OK-M does also have this feature. And we can just use this for taking off the keycaps and then removing the switch and things underneath. There's no Ducky branding on there. It's just quite a plain design, but nice that it does come with the keyboard if you need it. Now we've got the keyboard unboxed and we've taken a quick look at the accessories. I've plugged it in so we can see the RGB lighting all lit up, and I think we should talk about the overall aesthetics. Obviously it's black and blue. You do have these extra blue keycaps on here as well, and it has this very vibrant RGB lighting. So Ducky says this keyboard is for work and play, and if you press Function and delete, you can turn the lighting off. I think that's very work, very suitable for an office. Function, delete, that's play. There you go, there's sort of your RGB gaming setup. There is a few different profiles you can scroll between as well. Pressing function and backspace changes the different color settings. There's a lot of rainbow effects, and if you keep going, you get a few other like typing reactive effects, different colors and things as well. There's loads of different options to choose between. There's lots of information on the manual, which can be found on the Ducky website. I'm just gonna set it back to rainbow for this video. And then if you press the function and the enter key, there is a little bit of RGB lighting on the side there as well. So you can change that between a few different modes just by scrolling between them using the function key and a few different buttons. I do like how it looks. I'd be tempted to use my keycap puller and maybe switch out these keycaps for a slightly different design, something a little bit more fun. But this is very reminiscent of Keychron, which is a popular color scheme anyway. So I can see why Ducky have gone for that, and probably suit the majority of setups. The keycaps themselves, they are a double shot PBT plastic. I will just remove one so we can take a closer look at the quality. Those do look to be quite good. Nice, clear legends on there. They're not shine-through keycaps like you do get on some keyboards. They're just black and blue with white lettering, but they do appear to be nice, good quality PBT keycaps and double shot, so those legends will never wear off. You also have on the knob here the only real bit of branding actually. There's a little bit of a silver Ducky plaque down the bottom, but you do have the little Ducky mascot there on top of the volume control knob, which also you can press that as well, and that will mute the volume. So you can change the volume up and down, or then also use that to mute. There's a little bit of extra lighting down the center here as well. There's a numlock light, caps lock, windows, etc. And then that red one is just to show me that the keyboard is charging, because you can use it wirelessly. And to switch between the different modes, At the top of the keyboard here, you can see we have a couple of switches actually. So there's one for Windows or iOS. So that'll just change what the shortcuts do on the keyboard essentially. So it'll work with your different operating systems. And then you've also got the option, I'm currently in wired mode, but you can also change it to 2.4 gigahertz wireless and use this little USB A dongle, which is stored in the top of the keyboard. I do like it when they do that because I think these are quite easy to use, particularly if you're going to use this keyboard on the go. So it's nice that it has a little house to keep that safe. And then you can also use it with Bluetooth as well. So you can use this on your laptop, on your PC, on your console, or on a mobile device with Bluetooth. So work and play, definitely fitting the theme there. The overall build quality feels pretty good. It is made of plastic, so there's a little bit of flex to the chassis, but Ducky always seem to make pretty solid keyboards that last. I've got one now that must be like about 10 years old and it's still working perfectly fine. So yeah, good build quality from Ducky. This is definitely a return to form. It feels very similar to the quality of like their 1.3 keyboards that I really liked that came out quite a few years ago now. So yeah, really liking this new chassis, the OK-M. So very important, I think we should do a little bit of a type test. The keyboard itself does have, it's gasket mounted and it's got like 5 different layers of like foam and plastic, etc. That should really help to remove any of like the nasty rattling noises. So I'm expecting it to sound quite good. Here we go. Hopefully that satisfies your need for a type test, and I must say I do like how it sounds. I'm going to take the spacebar off because I want to have a look at the stabilizers. There's a little bit of something there, but it's actually sounds really, really good, and it's hard to get those stabilizers right on those big keys. So now you can see we've got the stabilizers. There's a little bit of foam under there as well. I reckon you could modify these. They've got a little bit of like wobble and stuff to them, but you guys must have heard of like the tape mod or using a bit of plaster or something, and you can quite easily like modify the stabilizers if you wanted to, and then I think this would sound perfect. The enter key and the backspace key are spot on. Maybe just the spacebar needs a little bit of modification, but overall great sounding keyboard. The switches in this keyboard, you can now see them, are one that I'm not familiar with. They are the KTT red wine switch. They're a smooth linear switch, and I must say they do sound quite good. They feel good and they definitely suit this keyboard. Could maybe benefit from a little bit of lube if you are a keyboard enthusiast. It doesn't come pre-lubed, this keyboard, as it is a more affordable option, but it gives you something to tinker with if you enjoy modding your mechanical keyboard. Yeah, overall impressed with the stabilizers and also this new switch type. It's nice to see something a little bit different than your usual Cherry MX switch. Put that spacebar back on there. It overall has quite a muted tone to the typing experience. I wouldn't say it's super thocky, but it does have a nice thock to it. Something that could probably be achieved with a little bit of lube and a couple of mods on the stabilizers, and I think it would be a really solid keyboard, although it's very good already out of the box, especially when you consider the price point this is aimed at. And I love the fact that it's a 98 size, so you get all the benefits of a full-size keyboard with the numpad, but then also you have quite a lot of space here if you wanted to have your gaming mouse on like really low sensitivity and you don't have a huge desk. So software-wise, Ducky don't really do much with software. Like I said, the RGB lighting is all kind of done on the keyboard itself. Taking a look at the manual, you just need the function key, backspace, delete, space, and the arrow keys. They all do different settings on the keyboard, like brightness, effect, etc. Just holding down the function key, you can change the RGB lighting. But if you want to do like macros, or you want to change the different key presses, or have different layers to your keyboard, maybe if you're really into like coding, or you need a whole bunch of different settings when it comes to typing, then you can use the VIA like online browser. Like it's like a software, I suppose. It's kind of like a firmware thing, and there is instructions on how to use that on the Ducky website, because I think you do have to upload some sort of file to get it working with this keyboard as expected. And you can have a bunch of different layers set up on this keyboard, and there's whole options for setting up macros and customizing it to exactly how you want it. And the nice thing is that it's browser based, and it's software that's used on like so many different keyboard brands support VIA now, and Ducky are doing that with this particular keyboard. So you do have some like software functionality there if you need it without downloading anything big and bloaty, which I really like. And of course, it will work with both the Windows and Mac OS as it is done just in your browser. For a budget keyboard, I love the OK-M 98. I think this is a return to form for Ducky, but they're also offering it a very aggressive price point of around £70 in the UK when it does finally launch here. It's a bit unfortunate they currently only have the one color scheme. I loved the 1.3. It came in like a bunch of different really unique colors. So fingers crossed Ducky release something in a slightly more adventurous color scheme. But if you're looking for a budget keyboard and you want something mechanical, hot swappable, and that has a really good typing experience out of the box that is quite muted, then I think the OK-M is going to be a great choice here in the UK. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and want to check out one of our other unboxing videos, and I'll see you again in the next one.